Hello everyone, I welcome you all for today's session. So in today's session, we'll be dealing with Introduction to Fluid Power System, module number 1. So what is fluid power system? Fluid power system is the technology that deals with generation, control and transmission of power using pressurized liquid. Right, so any group of components which together help us to generate power, control it and transmit it. So that entire group I can call it as a fluid power system. Fluid power comprises of two terms, hydraulics and pneumatics. When I say hydraulics, the working medium will be liquid, and when it comes to pneumatics, the working medium will be compressed air. Next, let us go through the advantages of hydraulic system. So the first advantage is it is very easy and it can be easily controlled with accuracy. Reason being, we are making use of simple lever and push button, and that is the reason it can be controlled with accuracy. Second point is multiplication of force. Reason is we are not making use of any parts such as gears, pulleys, levers which are making our system cumbersome. And that is the reason multiplication of force is easier. Once again, we'll be studying multiplication of force in detail when we discuss Pascal's law and hydraulic press. What exactly we mean by multiplication of force, there we'll be dealing with an example. Next, third one is constant force or torque regardless of speed changes. So for any minor changes in the speed, the force as well as the torque remains constant in case of a hydraulic system. And the fourth one is simplicity, safety and economy, because we are having less number of moving parts when compared to mechanical or electrical system. The fifth point is long life and low maintenance. So usually hydraulic systems have a very long life and maintenance required is less. The only point where you need to maintain it is the filters. If the filters are not clogged, if you are maintaining them correctly, then mostly in each and every component of the hydraulic system need not require any maintenance. Seventh one is it can be easily automated, but we can make use of automation. And the eighth point is easy reversal movement. So let us go through the limitations of a hydraulic system. Hydraulic lines are messy and leakage is impossible to eliminate completely. So what we can say is leakage is inherent part of the hydraulic system. We can just prevent, or we cannot prevent it, we can just reduce it to a certain extent, but it cannot be eliminated completely. Next is hydraulic lines can burst, possibly resulting in injuries to people. So this point is valid only when safety devices such as pressure relief valves are failing. If they fail, then the pressure in the hydraulic line is going to increase, and at one particular point it is going to burst off, resulting in injuries to the people who are working there. Third one is most hydraulic oils can cause fire if an oil leak occurs in an area of hot equipment. Generally, it is observed that any hydraulic oil or any hydraulic fluid you take up, it is flammable in nature. Right? It catches fire easily. So wherever the temperature is more and if a leakage occurs, then there is every chance that a fire hazard may happen. And the fourth point is hydraulic oil should always be clean, and thus filtration is very critical. In order to keep the oil clean, it is very important to use a very efficient filter. Right? So if the filter is not that efficient, then the contaminated oil will be passing through each and every component. It may be pump, it may be direction control valve, it may be actuator, resulting in a damage to each of these components. So filtration is a critical part of the hydraulic system. Let us go through the components of a hydraulic system. So when I say components of a hydraulic system, there are 6 main components. The first one is tank. We also call it as reservoir, which is used to hold the hydraulic oil. Second one is pump, in order to force the oil through the system. Third one is an electric motor, which provides an input to the pump. It is a power source which will be driving the pump. Next we are having valves. When I say valves, there are 3 main categories of valves which will be using in a hydraulic system. First one is DCV, we call it as direction control valve. Second one is pressure control valve, PRV. and third one is flow control valve FCV. What are these in detail we'll be going through in next module. Fifth is an actuator. It is a device which is used to convert the pressure from the oil into mechanical force or torque in order to do the useful work. In most of the cases, the actuator used is either a single acting cylinder or a double acting cylinder. And the next sixth part, which is an inherent part of any hydraulic system, is the piping, which carries the oil from one location to another. So in this slide we are having two images. One is the pictorial view of the simple hydraulic system. Second one is the symbolic view of the hydraulic system. So symbolic we will be studying later. I have just put it to show how exactly the symbols look like. Right, so let us go through the pictorial view. In this pictorial view, we are having a reservoir. We are having a reservoir. From the reservoir, we are having filter. So oil will be taken from the reservoir, it will be filtered, then its pressure will be increased in the pump, then it will be directed to the control valve. This is the direction control valve, which is going to provide the direction to the fluid. So it is directing the fluid inside the cylinder. This is hydraulic cylinder, which is of double acting type. It is having two ports. This is one port and this is second port. Whenever oil gets deposited here in this port on the right hand side of the piston, it will be exerting pressure onto the piston, and that is the reason your piston moves towards the left hand side. Whatever is the oil present on the left hand side will once again be sent back to the reservoir. So what we can say is hydraulic system works on a closed loop system. Same oil is being used in each and every cycle, and that is the reason it is very important that your filter is most efficient. If you are using the contaminated oil, then it will affect each and every component which is the part of the hydraulic system. Let's go through some applications of hydraulic system. First one is it is used in a hydraulic jack. Second one is drives high overhead arms. This is usually used in industries for launching of spaceships, to control the submarines. It is used in coal mines. It is used for harvesting crops. Presses, hydraulic presses. It is used in machine tools. When I say machine tools, it is used in lathes. It is used in universal testing machines. So both are hydraulically operated. Then you are having material handling equipment such as forklift trucks, which are making use of hydraulics. It is used in transportation as well as it is used in construction. It is used in aeroplane landing gears. It is used in JCBs. Right? So these are some of the examples where we can call them as application of hydraulic system. Okay, next we'll be studying regarding Pascal's law. It is a very important part of fluid power systems. Fluid power technology actually began way back in 1650 with the discovery of Pascal's law. Now let us go through the statement of a Pascal's law. Pressure applied to a confined fluid is transmitted undiminished in all directions throughout the fluid and acts perpendicular to the surface. So suppose if you just take this example of a bottle with a stopper, the force is acting on the top. This force is converted into pressure, and this pressure is transmitted undiminished in all the directions. So that undiminished force, which is next converted into pressure and which is transmitted, is shown by these black colored arrows. So the surface which is in contact with the fluid is this surface, as well as this surface and this surface. All the four surfaces are in contact with the fluid, and the force which is transmitted from the top is transmitted undiminished in all these directions and are acting perpendicular to the surfaces in contact with the fluid. So these black colored arrows are making a 90 degree with the surfaces which are in contact with the fluid. So this is the application of Pascal's law, popularly known as hydraulic press. It consists of two hydraulic cylinders, one on the left side and a second on the right hand side. Both are connected by this narrow passage. Now we are making use of two pistons. This is piston number 1 having an area of A1. This is piston number 2 having an area of A2. So in between there is a fluid. This red colored thing is nothing but a fluid, which is a static fluid. So you can apply Pascal's law because the fluid is confined. So whenever you apply certain force F1 onto the left hand side, it will be transmitted undiminished in all the directions throughout this passage. Right? Suppose if we consider a horizontal plane and if we consider 2 points P1 and P2, one on the left hand side in the left cylinder and second on the right hand side on the right cylinder, then at those points you can equate the pressure according to your Pascal's law. So pressure is force divided by area. So when P1 is equal to P2, I can write as F1 by A1 is equal to F2 by A2. So if you take F1 onto the left hand side and keep all other terms on the right hand side, it simply shows that F1 is equal to F2 into A1 by A2. So by applying small amount of force F1 onto the left hand side, you can lift a very large load onto the right hand side. For example, if you are applying 10 Newton of force onto the left hand side, around 100 Newton of force can be lifted on the right hand side. So this will be studying with the help of an example in the next session. That's it for today's session. Have a good day. Thank you.